go anywhere. Let's take a look in her books. It's Casey's Rainbow. Casey's Rainbow.
Our first book today is Hooray for Diffendoofer Day by Dr. Seuss, and it is about a really extraordinary school and some really extraordinary teachers. So for all my friends who have had to stay at home to do school, this one's for you. Hooray for Diffendoofer Day by Dr. Seuss. I've always lived in Dinkerville. My friends all live here too. We go to Diffendoofer School. We're happy that we do. Our school is at the corner of Dingzuber and Dingzot. It looks like any other school, but we suspect it's not. I think we're learning lots of things not taught at other schools. Our teachers are remarkable. They make up their own rules. Miss Bobble teaches listening. Miss Wobble teaches smelling. Miss Fribble teaches laughing. And Miss Quibble teaches yelling. Miss Twining teaches tying knots in neckerchiefs and noodles, and how to tell chrysanthemums from miniature poodles. Miss Vining teaches all the ways a pigeon may be peppered, and how to put a saddle on a lizard or a leopard. My teacher is Miss Bonkers. She's as bouncy as a flea. I'm not certain what she teaches, but I'm glad she teaches me. Look, look, she chirps. I'll show you how to tell a cactus from a cow, and then I shall instruct you why a hippo cannot hope to fly. She even teaches frogs to dance and pigs to put on underpants. One day, she taught a duck to sing. Miss Bonkers teaches everything. Of all the teachers in our school, I like Miss Bonkers best. Our teachers are all different, but she's differenter than the rest. We also have a principal. His name is Mr. Lowe. He is the very saddest man that any of us know. He mumbles, "Are they learning this and that and such and such?" His face is wrinkled as a prune from worrying so much. He breaks a lot of pencil points from pushing down too hard, and many dogs start barking as he mopes around the yard. We think he wears false eyebrows. In fact, we're sure it's so. We've heard he takes them off at night. I guess we'll never know. But we know he likes Miss Bonkers. He treats her like a queen. He's always there to watch her when she's on her trampoline. There are many other people who make Diffendoofer run. They are utterly amazing. I love every single one. Our nurse, Miss Clot, knows what to do when we've got sniffles or the flu. One day I had a splinter, so she bandaged me from head to toe. Mr. Plunger, our custodian, has fashioned a machine. A super zuper flooper-doo. It keeps the whole school clean. Our music teacher, Mrs. Fox, makes bagpipes out of straws and socks. Our art instructor, Mr. Bees, paints pictures hanging by his knees. In science class with Mr. Katz, we learn to build robotic rats. In gym, we watch as Mr. Bear hoists elephants into the air. Miss Loon is our librarian. She hides behind the shelves and often cries out, "Louder!" when we're reading to ourselves. We have 3 cooks, all named McMunch, who merrily prepare our lunch. They make us hot dogs, beans, and fries, plus things we do not recognize. And as they cook, they sing their song. Not too short, not too long. Roast and toast and slice and dice. Cooking lunch is oh so nice. We were eating their concoctions, telling jokes and making noise, when Mr. Lowe appeared and howled, "Attention, girls and boys!" He began to fuss and fidget, scratch and mutter, sneeze and cough. He shook his head so hard we thought his eyebrows would come off. He wrung his hands, he cleared his throat, he shed a single tear, then sobbed, "I've something to announce, and that is why I'm here. All schools for miles and miles around must take a special test to see who's learning such and such, to see which school's the best. If our so small school does not do well, then it will be torn down, and you will have to go to school in dreary Flobbertown." "Not Flobbertown!" we shouted, and we shuddered at the name, for everyone in Flobbertown does everything the same. It's miserable in Flobbertown. They dress in just one style. They sing one song, they never dance, they march in single file. They do not have a playground, and they do not have a park. Their lunches have no taste at all. Their dogs are scared to bark. Miss Bonkers rose. "Don't fret," she said. "You've learned the things you need to pass that test and many more. I'm certain you'll succeed. We've taught you that the earth is round, that red and white make pink, and something else that matters more. We've taught you how to think." "I hope you're right," sighed Mr. Lowe. He shed another tear. "The test is in 10 minutes, and you're taking it right here." We sat in shock and disbelief. "Oh no," we moaned. "Oh no!" We were even more unhappy than unhappy Mr. Lowe. But then the test was handed out. "Yoo-hoo!" we yelled, "Yoo-hoo!" For it was filled with all the things that we all knew we knew. There were questions about noodles, about poodles, frogs, and yelling, about listening and laughing, and chrysanthemums and smelling. There were questions about other things we'd never seen or heard, and yet we somehow answered them, enjoying every word. 1 week later, after recess, Mr. Lowe meandered in. We'd never seen him smile before, but now he wore a grin. He soon began to giggle. Then his giggle grew by half, and then it really happened. Mr. Lowe began to laugh. "You've saved our school! You've saved our school!" he jubilantly roared. "We got the highest score!" He wrote it on the board. Miss Bonkers did some cartwheels till her face turned cherry red. She bounded up to Mr. Lowe and kissed him on the head. "Hooray! Hooray!" she shouted. "I'm so proud I cannot speak." So she did another cartwheel, and she pecked him on the cheek. "Ahem, ahem," coughed Mr. Lowe. "You all deserve a bow. I thus declare a holiday. It starts exactly now. Because you've done so splendidly, in every sort of way. This day forever shall be known as Diffendoofer Day. And furthermore, I promise I won't ever wear a frown. For now I know we'll never go to dreary Flobbertown." Then we held a celebration. There was pizza, milk, and cake. Like everyone, I ate too much and got a bellyache. We laughed and whooped and hollered the entire school day long. Then we all sang triumphantly the Diffendoofer song. "We love you, Diffendoofer School, we definitely do. There surely is no other school that's anything like you. You're gribulous, you're grobulous, each day we love you more. You are the school we treasure and unceasingly adore. Oh, finest school in Dinkerville, the only one as well. We love you, Diffendoofer School, much more than we can tell. You are so Diffendooferous, it gives us joy to say, 3 cheers for Diffendoofer School. Hooray, hooray, hooray!" So, wasn't that great? Oh, I love the pictures in that book. So our next book is My Many Colored Days, also by Dr. Seuss. And this one is for all of us who are having a lot of emotions, being inside all the time and not being able to go and hug our friends. So it's really great. You're going to like these pictures too. My Many Colored Days by Dr. Seuss. Some days are yellow. Some are blue. On different days, I'm different too. You'd be surprised how many ways I change on different colored days. On bright red days, How good it feels to be a horse and kick my heels. On other days, I'm other things. On bright, blue days, I flap my wings. Some days, of course, feel sort of brown. Then I feel slow and low, low down. Then comes a yellow day, and whee! I'm a busy, busy bee. Gray day. Everything is gray. I watch, but nothing moves today. Then, all of a sudden, I'm a circus seal. On my orange days, that's how I feel. Green days. Deep, deep in the sea. Cool and quiet. Fish. That's me. On purple days, I'm sad. I groan. I drag my tail. I walk alone. But when my days are happy, pink, it's great to jump and just not think. Then come my black days, mad and loud. I howl. I growl at every cloud. Then comes a mixed up day, and wham! I don't know who or what I am. But it all turns out all right, you see. And I go back to being me. Do you guys like that story? I hope that it makes you have a yellow or a pink or an orange day. So for our last story, it's in this big book that I have that's called 6 by Seuss, more Dr. Seuss stories. And this one is called, And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street. So I know that we all really used to love going out into the world and seeing all of the amazing things that are out there. So now we just have to imagine it. And this is what one little boy imagined when he walked down the street. And to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street by Dr. Seuss. When I leave home to walk to school, Dad always says to me, Marco, keep your eyelids up and see what you can see. But when I tell him where I've been and what I think I've seen, he looks at me and sternly says, Your eyesight's much too keen. Stop telling such outlandish tales. Stop turning minnows into whales. Now what can I say when I get home today? All the long way to school and all the way back, I've looked and I've looked and I've kept careful track. But all that I've noticed, except my own feet, was a horse and a wagon on Mulberry Street. That's nothing to tell of. That won't do, of course. Just a broken down wagon that's drawn by a horse? That can't be my story. That's only a start. I'll say that a zebra was pulling the cart, and that is a story that no one can beat when I say that I saw it on Mulberry Street. Yes, the zebra is fine, but I think it's a shame. Such a marvelous beast with a cart, that's so tame. The story would really be better to hear if the driver I saw were a charioteer. A gold and blue chariot's something to meet, rumbling like thunder down Mulberry Street. No, it won't do at all. A zebra's too small. A reindeer is better. He's fast and he's fleet, and he'd look mighty smart on old Mulberry Street. Hold on a minute. There's something wrong. A reindeer hates the way it feels to pull a thing that runs on wheels. He'd be much happier instead if he could pull a fancy sled. A reindeer and a sleigh. Say, anyone could think of that. Jack or Fred or Joe or Nat. Say, even Jane could think of that. But it isn't too late to make one little change. A sleigh and an elephant. There's something strange. I'll pick one with plenty of power and size. A blue one with plenty of fun in his eyes. And then, just to give him a little more tone, have a Raja with rubies perched high on a throne. Say, that makes a story that no one can beat when I say I saw it on Mulberry Street. But now I don't know. It still doesn't seem right. An elephant pulling a thing that's so light? Would whip it around in the air like a kite. But he'd look simply grand with a great big brass band. A band that's so good should have someone to hear it. But it's going too fast that it's hard to keep near it. I'll put on a trailer. I know they won't mind if a man sits and listens while hitched on behind. But now is it fair? Is it fair what I've done? I'll bet those wagons weigh more than a ton. That's really too heavy a load for one beast. I'll give him some helpers. He needs 2, at least. But now, what worries me is this. Mulberry Street runs into bliss. Unless there's something I can fix up, there'll be an awful traffic mix-up. It takes police to do the trick. To guide them through where traffic's thick, it takes police to do the trick. They'll never crash now. They'll race at top speed with Sergeant Mulvaney himself at the lead. The mayor is there, and he thinks it is grand, and he raises his hat as they dash by the stand. The mayor is there, and the aldermen too, all waving big banners of red, white, and blue. And that is a story that no one can beat when I say that I saw it on Mulberry Street. With a roar of its motor, an airplane appears and dumps out confetti while everyone cheers. And that makes a story that's really not bad, but it still could be better. Suppose that I add a Chinese man who eats with sticks, a big magician doing tricks, a 10-foot beard that needs a comb. No time for more, I'm almost home. I swung round the corner and dashed through the gate. I ran up the steps and I felt simply great. For I had a story that no one could beat. And to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. But Dad said quite calmly, just draw up your stool and tell me the sights on the way home from school. There was so much to tell, I just couldn't begin. Dad looked at me sharply and pulled at his chin. He frowned at me sternly from there in his seat. Was there nothing to look at? No people to greet? Did nothing excite you or make your heart beat? Nothing, I said, growing red as a beet. But a plain horse and a wagon on Mulberry Street. Thank you guys so much for coming to my story time today. I hope to see you again very soon.